Sammy, let's go. Come here.
Good boy. Good boy. I just got back from Rise of the Skywalker. I haven't looked at anybody's reviews. I haven't seen what anybody else has to say. This is my immediate reaction having walked out of the theater and come straight home. I think I liked it. I think there's definitely parts about it that I liked. There's definitely scenes in it I like, and there's definitely plot points and ideas that I liked. Again, this is going to be no spoilers. I probably will release a spoiler version in a few days once everybody's seen it. And to give you an idea, if you go back and you look, when it came to episode 7, when it came to episode 7, the first Disney one, I came out of the movie enjoying it. And I've enjoyed it several times having gone back to watch it. Rogue One, I definitely enjoyed. There was definitely things about Rogue One I enjoyed quite a bit. And I think overall I enjoyed it as a film. 8, when I watched it at first, I came out of it liking it. I went back and watched it a second time. I didn't like it as much. And on my third watch of number 8, I was pretty annoyed, especially once I heard other people's criticism. So I think it's very important that I film this video before I hear anybody else's criticism about this film. So there's definitely scenes in this film that I like quite a bit. I mean, let's admit it. I like Star Wars. Look at my room. I like Star Wars. I like anything Star Wars. I like Batu. I like Galaxy's Edge. I mean, you've seen that on my travel channel as well. So I like Star Wars. There's so much wrong with number 8. And I really think what has happened here, in episode 7, they brought in J.J. Abrams. And J.J. Abrams does what J.J. Abrams does. I just finished watching Castle Rock on Hulu, and I've seen Lost, and just about everything that Abrams does, he loves his little mystery box thing. He loves to create all of these different threads, all of these different plot ideas, all of these different concepts, like pulling a polar bear on a tropical island, for example, and then make you try to solve that in your own head to keep you interested. And that's definitely a device that works and can work with Star Wars. Look how well it worked with episodes 4, 5, and 6. The mystery box concept is very much rooted into Star Wars. Who's so-and-so's father? Who's so-and-so's sister? The problem is when J.J. Abrams has to answer these questions like he did with Lost, like he did with the first season of Castle Rock, he's not particularly good at that. And then when you throw Rian Johnson into the middle of what Abrams is doing and tries to sew up a lot of those plot threads in a very unsatisfying way, while also taking us on a terrible vacation to a gambling planet that nobody really likes and nobody enjoys, or bringing in characters like Rose Tico that not a lot of people enjoy, or the mysterious purple-headed captain from that 8th film. He's handing what is already a big mess to Abrams and telling him to polish that turd. So the good news is there is some really satisfying conclusions in this film and some very satisfying, sewing up of those plot threads that works and looks good. And I will mention that, with the death of Carrie Fisher, I think what they had to do, what they did with Princess Leia is good, though, of course, in my mind, I'm remembering that Carrie Fisher is gone. She's no longer with us, so I'm being very aware of how they are mechanically handling the situation, because they did promise they would not do a CGI version of her in this film. So I'm looking in at moments thinking, is that a stand-in? Is that actually her? Did they film this before she died? Is this a voiceover from some other actress that sounds like her? It was very difficult for me to concentrate on those parts, but I do think they did the best they could with that situation. And there's some scenes that just carry such incredible power and strength, and on paper, they probably look absolutely fantastic. The problem is the execution. The problem is some of the filming, some of the editing, some of the way they just produced it and created it, and the editing especially. Some of the editing just doesn't sit well. There's these really just incredible Star Wars-y moments where so-and-so, I'm your father, and so-and-so, I'm your uncle, and so-and-so, and so-and-so. But sometimes the film just doesn't earn that drama, and it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. You can draw parallels to 4, 5, and 6, certainly with this movie as well, and the scenes are just nowhere near as powerful as they were in Jedi, in an Emperor, and in the original Star Wars. Is it good? Yeah, I still think it's good. I still think I enjoyed it. I still think you will enjoy it. But it's just not as Star Wars as it could be. Does that make sense? I think a lot of the reasons why critics don't like this film is because it's a little bit more like Galaxy's Edge. It's clearly Disney's version of Star Wars, not George Lucas's. Does that make any sense? And it's kind of trying to be by drawing those parallels like the seventh movie did. It's not the same. It's not the same, and I like it when Disney makes it something brand new. That's why I think I like Rise of the Resistance better than I do some of the other rides at Disneyland. That's one of the reasons I think, absolutely, I like The Mandalorian more than I like the new movies. The Mandalorian is really its own thing and is doing its own thing, drawing very few parallels and really getting very creative with the formula, and that's why I think people like The Mandalorian so much more. So whenever I do these reviews, I say, do I think you should see this movie? Yes. Do I think you should see it in the theater? Yes, because it looks great on the big screen, and there's plenty of spoilers you probably don't want to know before you see this movie. So I would also see it on opening weekend or as soon as you possibly can. I think if you're a Star Wars fan and you like Star Wars stuff and you didn't like number 8, you're probably still going to like number 9 quite a bit. If you like 7, you're going to like 9. If you hated 8, you're probably going to like 9 so much more because it does such a good job of just getting rid of a lot of what people didn't like about 8. So what I think I'm trying to say with this review is it's a good film. It is. And I don't really understand why it's getting as bad of the reviews as it possibly is. I think maybe it's because some people liked what they did with 8 and wanted it to stay that way. And J.J. Abrams made it maybe too much fan service, maybe too much retconning. Maybe that's what's upsetting so many of these critics so much. I'm not walking out of it upset. My honest opinion is with the mess that there was, did a pretty good job of cleaning it up. You can only polish a turd so much, so it couldn't be perfect. It was pretty good Star Wars, though. It was the Galaxy's Edge of films. Ooh, I bet that's going to upset a lot of people. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, do me a favor, drop a like on this video. While you're down there, hit subscribe so you can see the non-spoiler review or any of my top 10 games lists that I'm putting out this Christmas. I know there's a big Francis Rage probably coming about this movie over the weekend, and a Christmas Francis video as well, if you missed that old school stuff. So, guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and may the Force be with you, always.